and you're listening to Candidate Conversations on the WIDU Radio Network. I'm your host, Jay Reinstein, and today I have with me Justin Dews, running for U.S. Senate as a Democrat. Welcome to Candidate Conversations, Justin.
Hey, Jay. Appreciate you guys having me on here and excited to have the opportunity to chat with you.
Great. If you could just tell our listeners just a little bit about yourself, why you're running, and we'd love to hear that.
Sure. Born and raised in Ohio. Grandparents were dairy farmers. My dad was a welder. Small little, Midwestern town. Joined the Marine Corps when I was 18. Spent the next 10 years, in the infantry, sort of growing up. And then in 2015, I came down to North Carolina for a job, and I've been here ever since, raising my family. So 4 kids, 3 dogs. And for the better part of the past 10 years, I've been working 2 full-time jobs. So that is part of the reason why I'm running for office now, is because I think the American dream is a little bit out of reach, a lot of bit out of reach for the youngest generation. But, sort of bounced around different corporate roles, from startups to big corporate conglomerates. So I've seen big business, I've seen, military, and so can kind of push back on the traditional, corruption that goes on in those arenas.
Yeah, well, you have your hands very full there, Justin. So what do you think the single biggest issue, or one of the biggest issues facing North Carolinians right now, and what would you do about it in your first year if elected to the Senate?
Sure. I think affordability is at the top of the list for almost everyone, because 60% of America is living paycheck to paycheck. So the top of the list for me is pushing towards living wages, and MIT research has shown that to be around $30 an hour. So pushing for something I put on my website, not only is it the math, but the plan to get to $30 an hour by 2030, and then moving, the U.S. or really joining the rest of the world with universal health care or a single-payer system, because we're the only developed nation in the world right now that doesn't have that, and we're now living, I think, about 8 years shorter than, some of our peer nations. So living wages, universal health care where there's no out-of-pocket expenses, I think those would be massively helpful. And then housing affordability, that's a more complex issue, because you've got zoning issues, you've got inventory issues, you've got corporate and private equity ownership inside of residential, right? So there's lots of issues there, but there are ways to tackle that as well. So those affordability, sort of that umbrella of affordability is the priority, and I sort of put that as a pillar of what I'm running on, an acronym that spells ACT. So A is affordability, C is corruption, and T is together.
Great. Thank you. Excellent. So Washington, as you know, and I just watch it on TV, read it in the papers, is more divided than ever. How would you work with people you strongly disagree with across the aisle to deliver results for our state of North Carolina?
Sure. I think that's the problem, is the system has become so divisive now that there's no benefit, no legislation that's being passed for the benefit of the masses. And so, again, I want to prove that as a working class advocate, without raising a bunch of money, that you can get to office and make change. And really, I'm really an independent at heart, and I think if we can get more folks to understand that, I learned this in the Marine Corps, a 70% solution now is better than a 100% solution never. So, right, we can't play this as like team sports where your team always has to win or the other team always has to lose. Like that's not working for us. So compromise is huge. I'm not going to toe the party line. I'm going to go off of what's morally and ethically right. And so that's part of the reason I've laid everything out on my website
and share that website. I'll ask you to do that several times. Throw that out to our listeners.
Sure. Yeah, it's justicewithdues.org, and that's part of what I don't know if we'll talk about this later, but Roy Cooper's obviously the heavyweight in the fight, but he's got $15 million in his war chest, but he doesn't have a single policy or issue laid out on his website. And on the flip side, I've raised less than $5,000 and have every single, policy and issue laid out. And not just identifying the problems, but coming with creative solutions. I think that's important because, not everything's binary, not everything's black and white. And so, coming with new information, new perspectives to solve old problems is the approach I'm trying to take.
Great. Again, we're talking to Justin Dews, running for U.S. Senate as a Democrat. How will you balance the national party priorities with the specific needs of the North Carolina voters? Anything you could, please share that with us.
I think they overlap significantly, not only in the affordability issues, but tackling the corruption that is. So if you look at things like gerrymandering. That's part of the reason North Carolina can elect a Democratic governor, but 10 or 11 out of 14 congressional districts will go red because of gerrymandering. And so, having the goal of a constitutional amendment to ban the use of partisan gerrymandering and have independent redistricting commissions, that across the nation will just stop allowing both parties to abuse the map drawing, which I don't think our founders foresaw, and we could get back to, I would say, a more boring politics. And you don't, you have open primaries, you have ranked choice voting, and you just make the process less, divisive, less volatile. And again, this, democracy is still an experiment, and so we can improve upon it. We just need to have the willpower to do so.
Great. Thank you. Again, talking to Justin Dews, running for U.S. Senate as a Democrat. Many voters feel the system works for insiders and not everyday people. How would your election to office change that? What could you do to possibly make folks feel that their vote really counts?
Yeah. Getting to office as an underdog, that I would say the typical Senate race is in the millions in terms of what each candidate raises, which I think is sad that our democracy has come down to like who can beg for the most money. And it just doesn't feel morally right to me to do so, especially at a hard economic time. And so I don't want to be the standard politician. I want to be accountable to the people. And so, everyone that sort of reaches out to me, whether it's an organization or an individual, trying to be as, open and honest as possible is sort of, what I'm trying to take into this.
Great. Thank you. If someone is still undecided, what should they know about you that sets you apart from your opponent? And really, why should folks vote for Justin Dews for U.S. Senate as a Democrat?
Yes, sir. I'd say the biggest things that set me apart is the working class background. I'm not a career politician. I'm not an attorney. I'm a veteran. I've worked, like I said, multiple full-time jobs on top of each other. So this affordability issue is not, it's my lived experience, and I understand that, now with 4 children of my own, 2 of them that are about to be out of the house, right? Like the next generation has an even steeper hill to climb than ours did. And then two, my military service, spending 10 years in the infantry, during, the Iraq and Afghanistan war, showed me that supporting the troops is really, really supporting defense contractors. And some of the best guys I ever knew didn't get a chance to come back and have an impact on society here in the U.S. Because they went and fought a war that they knew nothing about. So I can stand up, I feel like, to the military-industrial complex. We don't need to be spending $1 trillion a year on basically war and destruction. We need to reprioritize. I'm just, again, I'm not going to take corporate money, not taking PAC money. I'm really not even asking for donations. I'm just asking for people to spread the word and ask folks to show up at the primary, research your candidates, and vote for the person they think is going to, to advocate on their behalf. And I think that's myself.
That's great. Again, thank you for your service, which 10 years is a long time. We appreciate that. Again, let's hear your website again, so folks, spell it out for folks.
Yes,
if
sir.
you can.
Justice with Dues, JusticeWithDues.org.
Great. Thank you so much. Again, we've been talking to Justin Dues, running for U.S. Senate as a Democrat. We appreciate you being on Canada Conversations today, Justin.
Thanks, Jay. I appreciate the opportunity.
And you've been listening to Canada Conversations on the WIDU network. Until next time, have yourselves a great day.
In-person early voting for the 2026 primary election continues and will do so until Saturday, February 28th in all 100 counties. 2 people were killed and 3 wounded during a shooting at a high school ice hockey game in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. The governor's task force on energy is out with an initial report. At an event in Western North Carolina, Governor Josh Stein talked about some of the report's ideas. Amazon has announced it's building a data center and making major investments in the Richmond County area. Team USA's Michaela Schifrin's 8-year Olympic medal drought is over. She won today. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is set to testify in Los Angeles in a case accusing social media companies of designing platforms addictive to young users and harmful to their mental health. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. Community members seeking to start, grow, or sustain nonprofits in the Fayetteville area are encouraged to register for 3 upcoming free workshops hosted by the city's Economic and Community Development Department. The workshops being offered will cover essential topics like establishing a nonprofit, management, fundraising, and financial reporting. The first workshop is scheduled for tonight at 6:30 p.m. It focuses on establishing and operating a nonprofit organization recruiting. Spaces are limited. Registration is required. Step off the sidelines and into the action with the Fayetteville Police Department Citizens Police Academy. It'll take place at the Fayetteville Police Training Center and the Police Department April 14th to June 23rd, 6 until 8 p.m. To register, you can scan the flyer QR code on their Facebook page or go to FayettevilleNC.gov. Class size is limited to 20 participants. If you have questions, call 910-433-1903. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
We're south of a warm front, meaning we're going to stay warm and windy at times throughout this Wednesday, despite a mostly cloudy sky. High temperatures ranging between 65 and 70 degrees. Overnight, staying mostly cloudy. Temperatures only drop into the 50s. We'll see a few stray showers. Isolated showers will be possible and gradually drifting north throughout the day Thursday. Meanwhile, warm with highs upper 60s, lower 70s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the Weather Center.
Hi, this is T.W. Campbell.
And I'm Patricia Campbell
of the Refuge Community Church, located at 2314 L.A. Dunham Road here in the God bless city of Fayetteville, North Carolina. You can reach us at area code 910-483-6477. We're here to invite you to our early morning service each Sunday morning beginning at 8:30 in the morning. Our prayer is at 6 o'clock, our intercessory prayer. Bible studies at 7 o'clock, which now is our Sunday school at night, and which we call the Word on Wednesday. Come and be a part of a growing community. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Praise the Lord. This is Pastor Eddie Ford III, Grace and Truth Church of God in Christ Jesus, 3811 Murchison Road, where our order of services are Sunday school at 9:30, 11 o'clock morning service. We have children's church also. Tuesday night, we have prayer and evangelistic service at 7:30. Thursday night, Bible study at 7:30. Amen. Come out and be a part of us. Come out and be blessed, where we are love-centered and Christ-driven.
Hello, Cumberland County. Thank you for allowing me to serve. I'm Vice Chairwoman County Commissioner at Large, Veronica Jones, asking for your support for re-election. I'm a lifelong public servant, community leader, and mental health educator. I'm proud to be a voice for Cumberland County families and advocate for our democratic values. Vote Veronica Jones for County Commissioner at Large. Early voting, February 12th, February 26th, and primary, March 3rd, 2026.
Paid for by the campaign to re-elect Veronica B. Jones, County Commissioner at Large.
And this is Candidate Conversations on the WIDU Radio Network. I'm your host, Jay Reinstein. And with me today, I have Gary Mo Murray, known to many folks out here as Mo, running for County Commissioner, District 1. Welcome to WIDU and Candidate Conversations.
Well, Jay, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been looking forward to this. As I mentioned to you when we spoke earlier, I had been sick a few days, which I rarely get sick.
But you sound great today.
I'm here today, man, and feeling good. Thank God for that. So, yes, thank you for having us. I'm just happy to be here, and it gives me an opportunity to, let the community know who I am. For those who don't know me, been here all of my life, long-time resident, very proud of accomplishments, things I've done here. As I told you earlier, I'm a graduate of Reed Ross Senior High School.
Yep.
Matriculated from elementary up to high school at Reed Ross. Also attended college at Fayetteville State University. Yeah. Have a business administration degree with a concentration in management and accounting. Also have a master's degree from Beacon University out of Columbus, Georgia. Also, I have also have pastored here over the last 21 years. Was in Spring Lake for a while. Now we moved out, had the opportunity to buy a building in Clarkton. So I'm just glad to be here and talk to the people.
That sounds great. And again, we're talking to Gary, also known as Mo Murray, running for District 1, Cumberland County Commissioner. So tell me, what do you think, if elected, what would be the biggest challenge facing the Cumberland County right now? And what specific role do you think the Cumberland County Commission should play in addressing that role?
Okay, as far as the biggest challenges?
Yeah.
I think I like to look at things as opportunities, of course. I think we have the opportunity to build trust. Yeah. My understanding from what people I talk to, there's a lot of mistrust, not to say that we don't have elected officials who haven't done a great job. Sometimes the things they may have done is misunderstood, or maybe it's not well communicated. Yeah. So we need to be transparent. We need to be open. People need to understand, first of all, we're people. We are people first. We love people first. We love growth. We love business. But people is first, are first. And we need to let people know that, sometimes we don't communicate the things that are really true. Maybe we do care about people, but we haven't communicated that. Right. And so we got to be careful how we deal with the issues that we deal with, and make sure people are our first priority. That's my perspective. That's how I would govern. And that's it.
Okay, well, thank you. Cumberland County is changing. It may be growing. I'm not sure what the population is right now. But how would you balance economic development with protecting neighborhoods, infrastructure, and really quality of life? What's the balance look like for you, Gary?
Okay, when it comes to economic development, economic development only works if it actually improves people's lives. You know, you can say that you've grown, but have you improved the lives of people? So that means, to me, is that we don't chase growth, right? But we have to make sure, first of all, that growth benefits the people. So in my opinion, there's three things that we need to ask, when we're balancing economic growth and how it impacts people's lives. There's three basic questions, and of course there's a lot of things that may stem from that.
Sure.
But the first question that we must ask before moving forward with projects is, does it raise the quality of life for the residents? Or does it just provide profit?
Right.
We cannot just look at profit, even though profit is important and we should grow, and that sort of thing should happen.
Right.
But the number one thing is, does it benefit the people? That's the first thing you want to ask.
Right.
Okay, you got to answer that, because the best interest of the people should always be driving our decisions. Okay, and I do think our community would. That's another thing we talked about earlier, where communicating to people that when we make decisions, we have you in mind. Right. That's the first thing. Number two is, does the economic development fit the community? Okay, so we don't want to just grow for the sake of growing, but does it fit the community? And does it respect and complement existing neighborhoods and things around our community? When we make decisions, all of these things we must keep in mind. Right. Because again, people are our number one customer.
Right.
Period, blank. Okay, so we got to ask that question. Number three, can our infrastructure handle the growth that we want to make?
Yeah,
do we have the roads? Do we have the bridges? Do we have the schools? Are we creating problems? Right. Because growth can create problems if you're not ready for the growth. Yeah. So these things are very important things that, as a commission, we need to keep in mind when we're making decisions.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. One of the areas that always comes up with our elected officials are taxes, property taxes, and county spending. How do you decide when to raise taxes? If you're elected to county commission, when is the time to raise taxes without major cuts to our spending? How do you do that?
Okay, if we're going to raise taxes for individuals, first of all, does the taxes improve anything? I mean, this is a basic question that we always have got to ask. If I'm going to raise your taxes, right. If I'm going to give you, if you're going to pay for anything, there is a benefit right. that you should receive. Yep. Okay, so this is, I believe, number one. Does it benefit the community? Right. If it benefits the community, then we want to, continue with the process if it works best for the people.
Right. Again, we're talking to Gary Murray, known to many in this community as Mo, running for Cumberland County Commissioner, District 1.
That's right.
District 1. And we're going to talk about your nickname Mo at the end of the show, because I know our listeners are going to want to hear about that. Let's talk about public safety, because that's important. And when we talk public safety, it includes law enforcement, it includes emergency services, and community trust. What do you think the county commissioners are doing well right now when it comes to that? Where could they improve? And I guess if you're elected as a Cumberland County Commissioner, District 1, how will you focus on public safety? What will be your focus? Okay,
well, first of all, when you ask the question about what do we do well or what are some of the things that we should take note of, I think we have some well-qualified individuals, a lot of experienced professionals here. And so that we have working for us when it comes to the things that we do well or that you would call basically an asset. I think that when it comes to this sort of thing, we should keep it in mind that we've got the personnel in place to do what we need to do. Then what happens, though, what we got to think about next is how do we coordinate the things that we want done. You could have all of the experience in the world, all the expertise in the world, but do we coordinate well? Right. Do we work good with, different agencies? Okay. Planning and things like that are very, very important. For opportunities, I think we could, when I talk about the things that we do well, I think about Fort Liberty, for example. Yeah. We could certainly pull from that base of talent. We have people coming in all the time from different parts of the world. And I mean, we have all kind of experience that I think we can tap into from Fort Liberty. We also have a base there where, we could, when it comes to developing talent, you've got wives sometimes who are not being utilized to the extent that they could be utilized because of the lack of jobs. We need to promote jobs and again, what's the things that are at your disposal, like Fort Liberty talent, and things like that. Use them to your benefit. So I think we miss opportunities by maybe not recognizing those things. I'm sure there are things, and Fort Bragg, the leadership there, they're talented about everything. I mean, they just are. And so they could help us. Yeah, I think we should want to tap into those sorts of things.
Yeah, and you mentioned something that's interesting. When I work with the city, we work with a lot of wives of the military, and that was really a resource that the city tapped into. So that's a very good point. Again, we're talking to Gary Murray, known to his fans out here as Mo. Let's talk about education and workforce. And while the county does not run the schools day to day, that's not their responsibility, it does fund them. What would be your responsibility, if elected as a Cumberland County Commissioner, to the students, teachers, and workforce development? If elected, what do you see your responsibility to them?
First of all, what I think we have to be as a commission, if I'm elected, we have to listen to people, understand their needs, first of all. We have to, the things that they need in the classrooms, what are the things that the teachers needs, whatever those things are, we need to listen to them and not come in with the idea that we know everything. I'm certainly not coming in from that perspective. We first have to be a learner, and then, try to put some things in actions that they bring to our attention. Right. And let's work together when we do things. Yeah. When people know that you're working with them, they feel a part of it, and you can get things done a lot better. You've got teamwork, you've got camaraderie. These sorts of things just mean a lot when people feel like they're involved. So when it comes to education, we need to appreciate the education system, and let's reward these teachers. There's some of the most underpaid people. We all know that. I think they've got a recent raise, I believe. They did. But we need to be sure that they're continuing making the sort of money that they deserve. I would be an advocate for our teachers. They have to deal with a lot of things. Raised two boys here and was very involved when it came to them in school. And the teachers knew me well. As a matter of fact, I saw a teacher the other day who I hadn't seen in probably 10 or 15 years out. And she recognized me. She wasn't my teacher. She was my son's teacher.
Right.
And so she was so glad to see me because she knew I was involved.
Yeah.
And
which is important.
I was there and letting her know, that I'm there if she needs me. So we need the support that our education system, our teachers and things associated with that need to know that they have our support. And people need to know that we really care and not just saying that we care. They need to see that.
Exactly.
They see that by listening to what they say and then putting what they say in action.
Yep.
We can't promise everything because we can't do everything. But when you have made a valiant effort, people notice that.
Sure.
And people appreciate that sort of thing. I don't know if I just want to mention this since I'm talking because this is one of my passions as well. I talk to people when I get the opportunity to, and that is our senior citizens. When I think about, as a matter of fact, I have to tell you this story, Jay. Recently, I was going down to pay my taxes, and I always pay it like almost the last day of the year.
Many people do.
So I met this 102-year-old lady, the most beautiful being, man.
Right.
Her name, Miss Parker. I hope she don't mind me saying if she happens to listen to this. She, a beautiful lady. So I was there paying my taxes, and just so happened that she was there paying her taxes. Now, the reason I bring that up is because I've had a lot of passion for years about seniors after paying for a home for 35, 40 years, and then you're on a fixed income, and you're still having to pay taxes on that home, and in some cases you get taxed out of it. This is why we have to have responsible growth. So Ms. Parker is one of the she lit another fire in me, even though this is something that it was already I was paying attention to. So I think we've got to care about our seniors. We cannot be fine with seniors losing homes because they can't afford it. They've already paid taxes for 30 years. Why is it that if they're in a situation now, in some cases where their husbands are gone, their children are dead, she's 102 years old. But let me just tell you this, though. She is in great health, I mean, she was talking so well. The video went viral.
Really?
Oh yeah, it went viral in like 5 days. It's well over. It's probably 3 or 4 million people that's watched it by now. So I wanted to bring that up because I care about our seniors. And so I've become close to her granddaughter now. She's very protective of her grandmother, Miss Parker, and so I'm staying in touch with them. I called them the other day to see how she's doing, because I want to be an advocate for Miss Parker. I want to be an advocate for her. Somebody needs to speak up for folks who are at that age and really cannot afford the tax increases that we get sometimes when we have not thought through everything that we're doing. We've got to think through, again, not just grow, but grow responsibly. One of the things that one of my initiatives, to grow, but grow responsibly. Let's be transparent. Let's take care of our seniors. And I had to tell that story.
Yeah, it's a good.
Miss Park, if you're listening, you happen to see this. First of all, forgive me for sharing that. But hello. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, it's important. I think a lot of times in this country, seniors are often forgotten or not as respected as in other cultures. So I think we do really have to keep a focus on seniors. Often voters feel really disconnected with their politicians and with local government. What would you do differently if elected to be more transparent and accessible and accountable to the constituents, to your constituents?
Okay.
That's important.
That's very, very important. So if voters are feeling that way, first of all, you've got to make yourself accessible, maybe through town halls. Set up, times where you can meet and hear their concerns. I think we have to do things like that to let them know that we're listening.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have the answers for everything, but we're willing to listen and help and let you help us find the right answers. Right. You know, again, if we work together,
right.
If we work together, we can do some amazing things. Yeah. So I bring to this opportunity a lot of integrity. You know, first of all, one thing I was thinking about is, you know, we've got people, some people, you know, running for different offices, trying to hold different positions in a lot of different areas, right. But haven't taken care of business at home. Mm. Okay, you know, if you are trying to spend the money of the public, how is your budgets working at your house?
Right.
Okay, are you behind? How is your credit? Well, I'm proud to say, and you can check me out, I have an 850 credit score.
Wow.
I've never been late on a bill in my entire life in 63 years. And you can check me out.
And you are 63?
I'm 63.
I'm 64, and I look 84, and you look about 53. So there we go.
Oh, my God.
There we go.
Thank you, Jay.
Sure.
But so what I'm saying is, you know, when we talk about, you know, taking care of the business of the city, I want to know, are you taking care of the business of your own home? And can anybody vouch for you?
Right.
You can check my record. Anything you want to check, you can pull it up. Because I have a record of doing things right. I treat people right. I love people. Yeah. And everybody that knows me know that. Yeah. And so this is what I bring to the table. And I do believe people who would entrust their vote with me, they would not regret it. Because I really think I could be a help to our city.
That sounds great. And finally, it's a two-part question. Why should people vote for Gary Murray, known as Mo in the community, for Cumberland County Commissioner, District 1, and just a very brief history of the nickname Mo, if you could add that.
I knew you were going there, Jay.
Of course. I find it fascinating.
You couldn't resist. That's okay. Well, I believe that people should vote for me. First of all, one of the things I've just mentioned, I'm a longtime resident. I'm a guy of integrity. If I say something, Jay, you can count on it. Right. I'm going to make every effort to do it. You know, I think a good name is important. The Bible speaks of that. You know, having a good name, care about your name, care what people think about you, and what you think about yourself. So carry yourself well, do what you say, and people appreciate that. Well, let's get to the nickname. I think that's what Jay been wanting me to get there. First of all, again, my name is Gary Mo Murray, and there's a story that come behind the nickname Mo. And that story is I have a twin brother named Curly, right? And I also have an older brother named Larry. As a matter of fact, Curly is the one who came up with our slogan, which is "Let's go with Mo."
Let's go with Mo.
My twin brother. So let me finish the story. So so again, I'm Mo, and my twin brother is Curly. And the way that all happened, you know, of course, most people are familiar with the Three Stooges. When my brother and I were born, my aunt it's told to us that my aunt walks into the hospital, and she sees us laying there, and she says, "There's Mo and Curly." So of course, Larry was already here. He's our older brother. Right. And so we've been stuck with Mo and Curly for all of our lives. That's what people know us by, and we certainly, you know, we love those names now. So I say to the voting public, let's go with Mo.
I like it. I like it. We've been, again, talking to Gary Murray, known as Mo, running for Cumberland County Commissioner, District 1. Thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to have been here. Thanks so much, Jay, for having me.
Yes, and you've been listening to Candidate Conversations on the WIDU Radio Network. Until next time, have yourselves a great day.
This is Bishop Johnny Ray Jr. of the Churches of Worship Worldwide, Apostle J. A. McDonough, 2118 Owen Drive. And we are proud to be a part of the Wake Up. Come and join the team.
This is Candidate Conversations on the WIDU Radio Network. I'm your host, Jay Reinstein, and with me today, I have former City Council member and running for County Commissioner, Cumberland County District 1, Larry Wright. Welcome to Candidate Conversations.
How are you doing this morning, Jay?
Doing great.
I'm doing great myself. I'm excited for this election period that's coming up. Give us an opportunity to make a difference. And I'm excited to be a candidate for District 1.
Yeah. We worked together on a lot of projects back in the day, and
yes.
I think since 2013. And
Absolutely.
I know what you can do. So you're running for county commissioner, different from city council. What do you think right now the biggest challenge facing Cumberland County will be if elected as a county commissioner? What will that big challenge be for you?
Well, I think one of the biggest challenges in Cumberland County is, the challenge of transferring our county from a Tier 1 to try to get up to a Tier 2. And inside of that challenge, you're talking about economic development.
Yeah.
You're talking about improving our school systems and also the safety of our community. We're talking about also homelessness and how that looks. So, to bring everything up to a higher standard of living and a higher quality of living. And I would focus on those areas to make our county a better county, to bring us up to a Tier 2.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So going from council to commissioner, what do you think will be the biggest challenge for you going from city issues to county issues? Any challenge or something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, well, I really, really look forward to it, because what my goal is to help to improve the communications and the relationships of the city and the county. And so by working with the city council for 4 terms, really it was 4.5 terms, I got the opportunity to really work with some of the county as well. And I learned the ins and outs of the county and the city, PwC, and other entities within the community to come together to make it work. Right. And so what I really want to do as a communication person in the military, I did over 20 years. And
thank you for your service.
Thank you. And so communications was one of my MOSs. And also, when I retired, I worked for AT&T as a marketing director.
Got it.
And so I did very well as a marketing director, and then as a pastor, I worked with the community as a community servant. So it would be easy for me to make that transition from what I did with the city to complement that with the county. So I think I'm the best and the most qualified new candidate for this office in District 1. District 1 also encompassed District 7. And District 7 was my district on the city council, so that's inside of District 1. So I got a lot of connections and networks in the district, so I think it's going to be very exciting to make those changes. And then to be a servant leader, a community leader, that's in my heart.
That's great. Again, we're talking to Larry Wright, former city council member, now running for Cumberland County Commissioner, District 1. One area that folks talk about a lot is economic development. Is there anything you want to see happen when it concerns economic development in Cumberland County? Is something missing? Is there an area that you think the commissioners should be pursuing when it comes to economic development?
Yeah, economic development is one of the main topics and one of the main platforms when you're talking about bringing a county and a city and the surrounding areas up to a certain level. And so what I look at, economic development, is bringing in corporations and having a relationship with those corporations out of the gate. In other words, you can give incentives, but those incentives has to work for the benefit of not only the corporation, but the benefit of the townships and the citizens within that environment. And some of those incentives could be tax, it could be initiatives that that corporation could take on and pay back later. But you don't want to give them so much that they deem that it's not a value. And at the same time, you don't want to give them so much that they hurt the environment or hurt the people. But we want quality. We want quality in there. So when you talk about that, Then you have to work on the schools. Right. Then you have to work on the safety, because when corporations come, a couple of the first things they look at is the environment, the schools system, and the safety factors that involves that community.
It'll be a little different too with the county. You know, you'll have schools, you'll have Department of Social Services. Right. A lot different than the city. So